Good morning, Rabbi Side! Wow! Unreal! Look at this Olam. Look at this. It's not to be believed. Unreal, unreal. You know, I'm very fond, it's not even the word. I belong in the Five Towns, really. I grew up here. I spent a big part of my childhood here. I went to Darche. My father was a Rebbe in Shar Yoshuv. I went to the Shar Yoshuv bungalow colony. That's where I fell into the pit. So I really love Far Rockaway. And I was talking to my wife, if we ever make a Yerida, which is possible, you know, she still talks about it every single day. So the Five Towns is one of the short list. That or Miami, I don't know. Talk me out of Miami. I don't like Miami, whatever. I'm coming to Miami though, I'm coming. Okay. Now I was just saying that I grew up in Far Rockaway and I lived on the same street as the White Shul and the Aguda. And a lot of I'm still close in heart with the kids that I went to school, you know, pre-1A, first grade, second grade in Darche. So I love Far Rockaway. It always brings back great memories. My brother lives here. And so I got off the plane and I went to daven, and then I went to the bagel store. And I'm in the bagel store. Of course, I bumped into somebody I never met before. He watches the shir. And then I see a guy make a short stop. There's Avi here, Avi Goldstein, and here he is. He gets out of his car, he comes running, he says, I noticed you in the bagel store. Hi, I do your share. But I met a guy. There's actually two people I met in the morning. And they said, oh, I do the daf on and off. And I'm like, why on and off? I'm very busy. Very busy. With what? With work. And to me, it's very sad. Just very sad. Because when you work, you're working 16, 8. You don't have 45 minutes in a day to learn the daf. Like, I didn't want to boast to him, you know, the whole guy in the book and everything. But like, I just came off Tisha B'Av, gave 4 shiurim, I'm on a flight, I barely slept, I have to give another shir here, and you don't have 40 minutes? Please. Now, it's not fair because I really enjoy it. But, you know, I thought PK, 40 minutes. He took the Muslim. He promised he's going to come, but
no. If I could do it, anybody could do it. Be'emet.
It's unreal. Okay. So Be'ezer Hashem, he's going to come together. Oh, you know what's interesting? That my phone has all my emails. So I guess we're not going to read any emails. I was counting. I printed the emails and I printed a picture of a pitchfork. You know why? Everybody knows what a pitchfork looks like, right? Besides one guy in the room. Yossi Klein, where is he? You know what a pitchfork is? Where are you? No clue, right? That's why I printed it out. Okay, so somebody has to show him You have emails? No. All right. Today's sponsors, Yishkoyach, anonymously, by Kalman of the Five Towns. Lila Nishmas, Menachem, Mendel, Simcha. Welcome everybody back to the Five Towns. Also, huge welcome to 2 new members of NDY. Thanks to the new Gemara initiative, Yossi Klein. Both friends of mine whom daven with me at Yismach Moshe and Woodmere, Henry, Ness, and Rabbi Akiva. לכבוד, I don't know what it says here, but maybe it says the Chosson, החשוב, Grobער, Mazal Tov on the occasion of his wedding. Oh, yeah, it does say Chosson. It says Tov Nun. Wedding today, Wednesday, 21st of July. Simchas Chosson, 10:30 p.m. at Kinloss Gardens, London. Wow. From his chavrusa of many years, Refoel Grosskopf, Yishkoyach, Refoel. He hates. Reb Refoel hates when I call him Reb. The extended Eisenberger family, Refoel Shlemo for Grandpa Mordechai Nisan ben Rezel, who's on his 4th Mazal Daf Yomi Succah of the many black Gemara he learned, and it feels from his many children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, may he have a speedy recovery, Amen. And once again from Chaim, this is the anonymous Chaim, Akar Satov to Rebelli, Yishkoyach. Parnas HaChodesh. Michal Benmeleh, in memory of his mother Devora Faige bas Shmuel, and father-in-law Menachem Mendel ben Elchanan, and in merit to make it to Uman Rosh this year. Okay, say amen if you want. Otherwise, I might get emails. What is this? Kalman's email? Wow. Oh, he says he's going to come soon. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sparing you the whole thing. Blah, 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 blah. Kol Tov, Kalman of the 5 towns. Shkoyach. Great email. All right. If new to the share, I read 40 emails from Kalman of the 5 towns. He sponsored 100 shiurim already. Every time it comes with a very long email. So, all right. America's amazing. The bagels are great. The people are great. The shuls are beautiful. Eretz Yisrael is much better. So come to Ramat Bet Shemesh. I'm telling you, it's the way to go. You could ask. Jonathan Austin is in the house, by the way. Also from Eretz Yisrael. He's the one that got me onto meaningful people. Nachi Gordon is in the house. You know how many people, who here saw meaningful people and started this year because of meaningful people? 4 people, 6 people in the crowd, including Nachi Gordon. Wow. 6 people in the crowd started learning Daf Yomi because of meaningful people. That's a tremendous chos, Nachi. You should be very proud of yourself. And Jonathan Austin, who put it together. That's just in one room. So, amazing. Okay. Rabbi Sai, we're holding in the middle of a very interesting sugya. If this is not your cup of tea, there's many sugyas in Shas that might not fit exactly how you like it. Some people hate Agadata. I don't know why, they do. Some people hate drushes. The word hate is strong. Tuma, Tyra scares them. This is a sugya of Yadais. It's going to be over in 15 lines. You see, there's a Mishnah. Smack in the middle of the page. But we're in the middle of a sugya. And we are talking about Yadais. Yadais is a handle of food, basically. Of anything. It could be a handle of a kli. A handle of a pot. Does it have the halach of the pot? Does this have the halach of the fruit? So we're smack in the middle of a sugya. Rabbi Menachem says that everybody holds, this is grapes. Grapes are different. We said yesterday, you can make a distinction that grapes, when you press the grapes, you don't want any of this stuff. This is no good for the grapes. So you actually don't want it. So if you don't want it, it's not part of the food. If you do want it, then it's part of the food. And if a mace touches this grape, the stem also becomes tamei, because that's if it's yad. But if you don't want it, then if a mace touches the grape, it does not transfer to the handle. Okay? Here's another handle, in case you don't know what it looks like. Cherries are amazing in America. I don't know why, but they're something else. Not to talk about it, because, now I'm going to get the guy. You just spoke Lashon Hara about the Paris of Eretz Yisrael. Okay. Shkoyach, everybody turn around. That's Kalman from the 5 towns. Woohoo! Yishkoyach, Kalman from the 5 towns. Big supporter this year. Did a lot, Yumim and all sorts of stuff. Okay. So now we're holding, the Gemara says like this. According to Rabbi Menachem, we could say that everybody holds that when it comes to wheat, if you cut wheat for schach, the shaft of the wheat has nothing to do with the kernel, ein lo yadis. So then where's the machlokes in wheat? So Gemara says something very, very interesting. The machlokes is, what happens if somebody cuts the wheat to eat it? And when he cut it to eat it, he wants the entire thing. And then afterwards he says he wants to make schach out of it. So the Gemara wants to say that just thinking in your mind, because I gave a whole speech just a few days ago, that's all in the head. Yiddishkeit is all in the head. The same thing, the same person could go to sleep and be mekayim big mitzvahs by thinking that he's sleeping in order to have koiches to get up for Daf Yomi, and he gets that much more mitzvah. A person can just lay down in bed and go to sleep, watch a movie and go to sleep. They're both going to sleep. If you have that extra machshava right before you go to sleep, you get that mitzvah. Why not think about it? Same thing with food, eating. Say, I'm eating these grapes to have koiches, whatever. Okay. So this person thought in his head that he wants to use the wheat for food. And then he said, you know what? I have a sukkah. I need to cover my sukkah. So he switched it in his head. Could you switch it in your head? Says Gemara, you can't switch it in your head. You know why? Because once it becomes a kli, then the only way to unswitch it is by taking an action. Now it's too late already to think. Thinking is only good when it's a blank slate. As the Gemara brings, you can make it a kli and decide that this piece of leather, I'm done with it. I want to sell it. I want to use it. Okay, so now in my head, it became a kli. Once it became a kli, it's much more difficult to undo that. The only way to undo it is to show that you don't want it. You break it, you cut it, you do something. Okay, so now we have to understand Rabbanan. That's where we're holding now. How is it that according to Rabbanan, let's see the Gemara inside. Now, like we're 5 lines down. Maybe this idea that you need to do an action, take an action in order to undo it, that's afghanically. But this little thing over here, this is not kli, this is insignificant. So sometimes I need it for my food, sometimes I don't need it. So maybe over here it does work to undo something like that in your mind. No, but that can't be. Now we have to understand what the word besasan is. The Gemara, of course, is going to explain. But it says that if you have any handle of food, including this, well, goyren is grain, so he did a besisa to whatever besisa is. It's tar. Basically, he broke it up. Rabbi Yossi Matama, Rabbi Yossi says it's not good. Bishlam el mandomar besasan hitr agudon shapir. So you have a bunch of grain, and it's tied with a string, and he did besisa. So one pshat is you undo it. Think about it. Did you take any action in the grain? There's no action in the grain. What's the action? In the string. There's no action in the grain. But since you untied it, you showed that you don't care anymore about the whole shaft. You don't care. They could be separate. So that's very similar to what? To machshava. It's a very light action. It's an action that's not in the grain itself. So memela, maybe also if I think about it, that's also enough. So that shapir, it works. He trampled on it. He broke it up. Oh, that's a real action in the grain. So how's it over here that according to Chachamim, you could just undo it with your mind? How could I undo tuma or a kli with my mind? It's a kli already. Says the Gemara, you're right. You can't undo a kli with your mind. It's talking about that he actually broke it up. That's what it's talking about. What we learned yesterday, that there's machlekes, that first he made it for food, then he made it for schach, but he broke it up with his mind, with an action. How could they say that it remains a yad? He broke it. He showed he doesn't want it to be a handle anymore. So why would you say that he took action, he broke it, and he undid the previous machshava? One machshava was, I want this to be a handle. Then he comes and he stampedes it, breaks it apart. So isn't that showing that he doesn't want it to be a handle? So the Gemara, no. Rabbi Yossi, that's not Rabbi Yossi Matama. Rabbi Yossi says by the yad is Matama. This becomes Tameh, it's Matama. If Tumah touches this, it goes into the grapes. I need to eat some of these. Rather have those cotton candy grapes. You guys in Eretz Yisrael, they sell cotton candy grapes. They don't look like cotton candy, but it tastes like cotton candy. Amazing stuff. But it's closed. Oh, maybe it's not. But they're not washed, but it's still kadai. Shloimi. It's not 100% cotton candy. It's not bad. So by the way, Shloimi Klein sponsored today's event. So yishkoyach for all the food, amazing stuff. Yishkoyach. Come here. Shloimi, I have a problem. There's a guy here, his name is Yossi Klein. He's not going to want to come to the front. I need you to grab him and get over here. The Olam needs to see what you look like. Bring him over here. Look at him. He's turning all colors. Get over here. Yossi, make a l'chaim with me, ni? Come here, ni? Rabbi said you're going to have to... It's unbelievable. We're standing with godless. Come, Shlomi, you have to come also. Yeah, lift it up. Do the whole... Yossi, they have to come to you. Shum aleichem. Yishkoyach gadol moed.
Thank you.
1,800 people got Gemara because of your machshava. You came up with a thought, you and Hassan Gans put it together. It's unbelievable, Chosson. Unbelievable. Shlomi, get over here. Where are you going? It's one guy. It's amazing. This is the Yossi Klein that we talk about. Everybody is capable of coming up with ideas to increase Torah in this world. Here's a great example. Shkoyach. Shlomi, get over here. Good for everything.
This is from Harry. Shalom. He asked me to give you a hug.
No, so I want one from you though. Shlomi Klein, the famous Shlomi Klein we always talk about, that's him. Jonathan, you're next. All right, now we can learn Torah. Oh, so one of the emails I wanted to read to you comes from a guy by the name of Elchanan who asked me not to mention his name. And he says, I love your shir. I'm going to another shir. I can't stand all the jokes. I need a serious shir. I'm going to search for another shir. So I want to tell him, you don't need to search. Every other shir is just like the one you're describing. If you want a shir that's gishmak, come here and stay. Stick around. Okay. He doesn't like this, and we stop in the middle. Okay, too bad. Says the Gemara like this. We're in the middle of Yodos. That's why we got to stop a little bit. Take a break. It's not Rabbi Yossi Mitama. Rabbi Yossi says these Yodos that we're talking about become Tomei. Hi, my Bishloim Hasam. Why? Time of the Rabbi Yossi Chazal Gerishim Ben Lakish. So the Gemara goes on to explain why exactly. What can you do with these Yodos that you stamped upon? Eser is a pitchfork. Shloimi. Yossi, I mean, pitchfork is like it's for the haystack, you know? It has a handle, it has like 4 or 5 big pieces of metal, and you grab the hay, and you flip it, and you toss it. So if it doesn't have the long shaft to it, it's very difficult to control the kernels. They'll fall right through the fork, what are they called? The tines. He says tines, he says tongues. I think the tines. What? No, tines. Yeah, in Punish they said tines. We're going to stick with that. But over here we're talking about a sukkah. Why do you need this? The whole shaft of the schach of the wheat. Chazia is great. When you're removing the schach from the sukkah, so you can grab it by the shaft. It's very difficult to remove all the schach. It's just a bunch of kernels or whatever. Okay, gufa. So for this, it's kedai to see Rashi 4 lines down from the wide lines, smack in the middle of the Rashi. I just thought it was cool. Sha'alti is Moiri. Says Rashi, ask my Rebbe. The gufa the mission the Maisei agav grod b'shmaita. It's the middle of the sugya. It's agav. Mishayach lemisne gufa. If the Gemara is bringing a Mishnah, the word gufa is weird. It doesn't really belong. Why? When the Gemara brings something from an Amoira, you could say gufa. After we're done with the sugya, we say, oh, let's go back to the middle, to the main part that we discussed. Let's explain a little bit about it. But if it's a Mishnah, says Rashi, I never saw the word gufa on a Mishnah. Says Rebbe told him, Rabbi. I'm just saying, because even Rashi had a Rebbe. Even Rashi asked questions, and his Rebbe was smarter than him, or whatever, at the time at least knew this answer, and told him. It's because this Mishnah is in Taharis. The Mishnah in Taharis doesn't have a Gemara. It doesn't have anything that explains it like a regular Mishnah. That's why this word gufa does make sense under these circumstances, because it's a Mishnah in Taharis. So anyways, it says like this. Gufa. All handles of food they did besisa, and now we learned this already, so this is really easy, all the way to the Mishnah. Taharis. My besasa, what does it mean? We already know what it means, right? Because we learned it. Rabbi Elchanan says that you trample on it and you break it apart physically. You don't touch it. All you do is open up the string that's holding it together. If you say that you didn't take action, you didn't break it apart, that's why Rabbi Yossi says it remains tummy. What's the reason? Okay, same word for word that we said before. It's mamish, 6 lines of freebie. Amar Rebbe Lezer. And here we have 3 lines of agatata, and then we're going to go into another sugya, a much easier sugya about boards for schach. Amar Rebbe Lezer. Lama nimshalot filasan shel tzadikim ke'eser. Why is the davening of a tzaddik like a pitchfork? How do we know it's like a pitchfork? Because Rashi says, it says, Vayetar al Hashem l'neichach ishtoi ki'akorihi. The Torah uses a very interesting lashon by Yitzchak. Vayetar. Vayispalel. What's Vayetar? Vayetar, because the tefillah of a tzaddik is like a pitchfork. That what? Just like this pitchfork flips the grain from place to place within the Goyren. How do you say Goyren in English? Silo, something like that. Okay. So too the davening of a tzaddik could flip. Hear what's going on here? You could change Hashem's mind, says the Gemara. Yitzchak wasn't supposed to have children, and he's able to flip HaKadosh Baruch Hu's mind, so to speak. So, va'amich kulam tzadikim. We're all tzadikim. We're all tzadikim, in a way. So we all really have Marty Dauber, Shalom Aleichem. You better get ready. Tomorrow, the Shir in Chicago, you're going to be there. I don't care what time, I don't care. 2 thumbs up. Okay, get the boys together. Chicago is the weakest city in the United States, and it's not going to be like that anymore. Terrible. Go there. 3.5 people show up. And Yoel Bergman. Okay. And he's on now, Yoel. Fine. So, every single one of us has the power to turn and switch HaKadosh Baruch Hu's midah. Achzorius. It's unbelievable lashon. Achzorius. Like, he's mean-spirited into Rahmanas. There's a Rebbe that used to call every one of his Hasidim tzaddik. Tzaddik. What's going on tzaddik? What's going on tzaddik? So one of the Hasidim came over to him and said, Rebbe, you call me a tzaddik? Yeah, I'm a tzaddik. So listen to this, Rebbe. I have a daughter and you have a son. Let's make a shidduch. So the Rebbe made a tchak. He said, yeah, you're a tzaddik. You're a different type of tzaddik. I need this type of tzaddik. Okay, fine. But the bottom line is we're all tzaddikim, and we could all, with the proper tefillah, you can flip it. Says the Heilige Mishnah sponsored, the official Mishnah sponsored by Fischl. Misakachim b'nesarim. Oh, it's a shame I don't have that picture of the pitchfork, because I wanted to show you. My son-in-law is here. Everybody say hello to Mayor Jacobs. He's in the back. Okay, so he printed, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned his name now. I asked him to print me out this pitchfork, so he comes back with a piece of paper half the size, because that's a typical printer, black and white. It's America. This is Eretz Yisrael, Rabbi Isai. In America, black and white pitchfork. Shvacham. Anyway, Baruch Hashem, I left it there. Nesarim, you could take a look what a Nesser is. A Nesser is a serious piece of wood. So, according to Rabbi Yehuda, that's okay. Misakrim and Nesarim to Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Meir Oyser. Why? Because we're going to see Gzeras Tikra. Guess what? In those days, this is what your house looked like. It's not like today that they came up with the invention of tar and shingles and who knows what. And, it's close to watertight as you could get it. Put it very close, and when it rained, no, little came in. So it's also to sleep in your house and use it as a sukkah. Why? Because the Torah says, get out of your house, go into the sukkah. But the wood is good for schach, but it's a gzeira, says Rebbe Meir. Rebbe Meir Oyser. Nosan oleo neser shurochav arba tfachim. What if he put one piece that's 4 tfachim? The halacha is Kshera. Now, the Gemara is going to qualify this. According to who? Does this go according to Rabbi Yehuda? Does this go according to Rabbi Meir? Kshera ubevad shalishin tachtav. So, everything is good. If you see in the picture, in the red, you cannot sleep under the red because that's where the piece of wood is. But the rest of the sukkah is good. Says the Gemara, of course, we have a shaila here. What's an Esser? Mishnah doesn't tell us. So anytime you have a question like that, what's an Esser? What's the answer? Machloikis. Amar Machloikis ben Esarim sheshbem arba. The Meir is like Gzeras Tikra. Yehuda less Gzeras Tikra. Al ben Esarim she'ein bem arba dira kol kshera. So according to Rav, there's a Machloikis in above 4. That Rabbi Yehuda says, I don't care how big this Nesser is. It could be 5 feet wide. Kosher. So the whole Machloikis is above 4. Ushmuel amar b'shein le'mar ba Machloikis. Says Shmuel the opposite. From 4 and up, everybody agrees it's puzzle. 4 and below is kosher. Now the Gemara is going to have to deal with Shmuel and Rav, how it fits into the brises. By the way, at the end, the Gemara is going to bring a brisa that says exactly like Rav. And a Bryce exactly like Shmuel. So their machlokes is actually based upon Tanaim, and there's no real resolution to this. So again, above 4 tfachim, which is pretty wide, something like this. Rabbi Yehuda says it's kosher according to Rav, and according to Shmuel, above 4 tfachim, everybody says it's possible. Now, what's below 4 tfachim? The Gemara is going to qualify that right now. Below 4 tfachim is going to mean between 3 and 4 tfachim. Why? Because anything below 3 is already lava, it's fine. As the Gemara, less than 3. It's just a regular piece of schach. Bamboo is also less than 3 tvachim. All right, probably this is what he meant. In other words, between 4 and 3, that's the whole shaila according to Shmuel. Anything less than 3 is perfect schach. Although I saw some achrayim say, Shalom Aleichem, Reb Aaron Hirsch, all the way from Lakewood, and Moshe Hirsch. Are you guys related? But you just happen to walk in together. You know, Aaron and Moshe Hirsch, you should come to the front here. We got to get over here. We got to talk about you for a second also. In the middle of the sugya. Come to the front. So, my time at Kohen Balmaninu. Mishleisha Adba, from 3 to Kipligi, Mishleisha Adba. The whole machlok is from 3 to 4. Ma'asova Kivin the lesnu shir mokoim lo gazrinon. Or Ma'asova Kivin the afkilu metoris lavud gazrinon. Okay? Shalom Aleichem Ramosher. This tzaddik over here, without getting paid, works every day for hours on our Hamerkaz. He has close to 1,000 subscribers. That's our newsletter. So Yishkoyach to Ramosher. Please subscribe. Now, Arners, get over here. All the way from Lakewood. Yishkoyach, Reb Aaron, for all you do, all your traveling, all your siyumim, all your get-togethers. It's very much appreciated. Yishkoyach, Reb Aaron. Go back to your seat. All right. The next time, come on time. I know you're from Lakewood. What? Oh. Today's share was also put together by Dr. B'yamin Schwartz, by Eli Berman, the Schlissel one, Avada. Yochanan Itzkowitz, the famous Yochanan. Where is he? Yochanan, Shalom Aleichem. That's right. Yochanan, get over here. Mendy Greenblatt and Ramati Grunberg, the famous OU user of Ramati. He's here in the house also. Everybody's here. It's unbelievable. The ganze Mishpacha came. It's unbelievable. Okay, listen. If you're new to the share, you'll start recognizing these names. OU user and Jonathan Austin, who doesn't want to come to the front. Jonathan, why don't you come to the front for a second? Nan, it's just an opportunity to get to meet everybody. I'm telling you, the Mishpacha needs to see who you are. It's a handsome guy like you should come to the front. Right away. Your girls want to see you. I'm like, come, no, get over here. Come. So Nan, before you get it, I'm going to do 3 lines. God, no, quicker. The oil was waiting. People on YouTube, they don't know what's going on here. Shalom Aleichem. Rabbi Isai, seriously. Here's a guy that made over 100 phone calls to make sure that I get onto meaningful people. He called me 96, and he called Nachi 4, and Yaakov 2. No, it was a whole thing to go and come, and when I'm going, then my flight was canceled. But he had one thing in mind. He wanted more people to join Torah. That's it. That's all he had in mind. It's unbelievable. Another guy with Chachma, and then he got us the Siyum, the place by the Kaisel. So Yishkoyach, Jonathan. Just in case you're not on. All right. Beseder. Okay. I have no idea what time it is, and they complained in Eretz Yisrael. They said every time I go to America, the shiurim go longer than normal, and they have minyanim. They have 2 minyanim, and this is smack in middle. It's a 45-minute slot. So when do we start? They might have to speed it up because it's not live actually. We're doing it for America this time. Okay, Tanan. We learned in the Mishnah. If he puts here 1 piece of wood that's 4 tefachim wide in your sukkah, kosher. Now I forgot to mention, by the way, very, very important piece. How did I forget? Where is it kosher? Rashi explains that it's kosher close to the wall, because anything within 4 amas of the wall of the sukkah is doifet akuma. So I could put anything within those 4 amas, even a 4 tefach piece of wood. So it says the Gemara, you can't sleep underneath it. Bishloim Shmuel da Omar, B'Shem Bar Arba Machloikis, Avayesh Ba and Arba de Yaakov Psula. According to Shmuel, above 4, everybody holds its puzzle. It makes a lot of sense why you can't sleep underneath it. But according to Rav that says even more than 4 tfachim, there's a mandama that says it's kosher, named Rabbi Yehuda. According to Rabbi Yehuda, why can't you sleep underneath it? Says, well, you're right. According to Rabbi Yehuda, you can't. That whole thing goes according to Rabbi Meir only. And according to Rabbi Yehuda, you could sleep under the 4 tfachim board. According to Rabbi Yehuda, there is no limit to how wide the piece of wood could be, according to Rav. Toshma. Shnei zdinim mitzdarfen. Zdinim. We know that sheets are what? Mikabel tuma. You cannot make schach out of them. So if you have 2 small sheets, they are mitzdarif. Shnei nesarim ein mitzdarfen. To make, so 2 sheets make a sukkah puzzle, to make the shear of whatever you need to make the sukkah puzzle. And shnei nesarim, 2 pieces of wood, are not mitzdarif. Because like it's 2 pieces of bamboo, 5 pieces of bamboo. They don't create a tzir. You don't combine them and say, oh, I have a giant piece of wood. That's how we do a sukkah. We just turned to Amud Beis, sponsored by MD White, the Hillen Group, for all those who need shiduchim, refuas, yeshuas. Please join tehillim.8mindaf.com. By the way, we're only going to try to go till 10 lines down from the bottom, because I hope I'm right. I didn't really have a chance to look, but it looks like a very, very short Tezvav Amud Beis, so we'll save some of it for tomorrow. Shnei nesarim starf. Meir oimer af nesarim kizdinim. So Meir, no difference. 2 pieces of wood are mitzdarf. Says the Gemara. We're trying to prove one shita over the other. Is it true that above 4 tfachim there's a manda amar that holds that it's kosher? According to Shmuel, what does it mean mitzdarif? Because anything above 4, everybody holds its puzzle. My mitzdarifim l'arba. You have 2 pieces of wood that are 2 tfachim each. You put them right next to each other. What's the difference if it's 1 large piece of 4 tvachim and 2 small pieces of 2 tvachim? They're mitzdarif. Now, but according to Rav, we have a problem. Hey Chidami, what's the case here? If it's already 4, you don't need a tziruf. According to Rav, these are just pieces of wood. The isbahu arba. And listen to this trick. We are talking about pieces of wood that are 4 tfachim, but we're not talking about the tziruf that you're thinking. 10 minutes? Okay. We're not talking about the tziruf that you're thinking. We're talking about a different tziruf. Like we mentioned before, 4 amas off the wall is considered a daven akuma. I could get away with anything on those 4 amas. So if I put a bunch of pieces of wood that are 4 tfachim wide, they're all puzzled, and I bring them all the way out off the wall, more than 4 amas, are they mitzdarif or not? That's the question of the Gemara. Not whether a piece smack in the middle of the sukkah is mitzdarif. Because we are talking about 4 tfachim pieces. So that's not the question. The question is from the side. Listen, Achrina. And some want to say it different. They start off with the trick. That what? According to Shmuel, that above 4 tfachim everything is possible. My mitzdarif from l'arba'avis menatzad. Whoa! Get over here! Rabbi Sai! Yeshua Aaron Price! Avi! Shalom Aleichem Avi! Everybody, this is Yeshua Aaron Price. You might have gotten text from him. From now on, you can ignore him. Now you know what he looks like, just ignore. This guy got you, by the way. This! What about the daf? Is this the daf? This is not the daf, Avi. It's not that. Give him some food. Shkoyach Yeshua. Wow. Where's your 8-minute shirt? Wow. 2 in the morning, you wake people up? I know, but who leaves their phone on? Shalom Aleichem, what's all the way from, all the guys from Brooklyn over there. Jeez, look who's behind you. Sunny Halawani. Okay, I got your video. I got it. He learns Gemara while he's skateboarding in the skate park. We'll have to show one of these days. Givaldic stuff. Great. So listen to this. The Gemara over here starting over the trick, understanding that we're trying to do a tziruf, we're trying to combine pieces of wood to make 4 amas. To make 4 tvachim, to make 4 amas. By the way, just a little trick. Arba usually means amas, and arba usually means tvachim. Arba amas, arba tvachim. Okay, fine. So, now, El Rav, but Rav says that what? That above 4 tvachim, according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's still good. What do you mean? According to Rabbi Yehuda, who cares how many boards you put and how 4 amas from the side? It's just regular schach. There's no difference between a piece of schach that's 1 inch and a piece of schach that's 5 feet wide. It can't be mitzdarif. It can't combine to make a psul in a sukkah. It's regular bamboo sticks. Says the Gemara. I did the comment Remeir mitzdarifin. The lashon is not good. Remeir says it's mitzdarif and it's good. Oh, Rabbi Yehuda ain't mitzdarifin. He was just messing around with the lashon, but really it is mitzdarif. What do you mean it's mitzdarif? According to Rabbi Yehuda, it's kosher. So ain't mitzdarif is not a good lashon. Ain't mitzdarif means ain't mitzdarif and kosher mean the same thing. But ain't mitzdarif would mean they don't combine. It's not that they don't combine. It's perfect schach. That, okay, so the lashon is just because Remeir used that lashon, he also used that lashon. Tani Kavasa the Rav, Tani Kavasa the Shmuel. Now the Gemara just brings a brayso that says exactly word for word like Rav, and then another brayso says word for word like Shmuel. Not really fair. Tani Kavasa the Rav, we have a brayso, Sikha ben Asar Shalaris. Somebody used planks of wood, cedar wood. Shein b'marba, they don't have 4 tvachim. Divrei Akol Kshera, it's great. Yesh b'marba, Remeir Paisel, Rabbi Yehuda Machshir. Over here it says Mefurish, that there's a Mendel Amar called Rabbi Yehuda, who holds that more than 4 tvachim is kosher. Who says that? Rav. So it's a perfect brayso like Rav. Omer Rabbi Yehuda. Comes along Rabbi Yehuda and he adds to that, Maisa b'shas sakana. It was a terrible time when the Goyim said no sukkahs. So we had a trick. We brought big planks of wood. Goyim are used to nice bamboo and the kindness or whatever it is. When we brought these big planks of wood, they had no clue they're building a sukkah. We put it on our porch and there were planks of wood. Even Goyim know the halacha. And we were mekayim the mitzvah of sukkah. Of course, they didn't say anything, and you could do that, because, let's think about it. Is a piece of wood this big, awesome in a Torah? No. It's Chachamim said, they don't want you to sit in a house by mistake, so they said all these pieces of wood are no good. So it's the Rabbanon. So, that's the famous question. Do you do the Rabbanon when you don't have a choice? You don't have a choice. The Goyim are forcing you. There's no schach available. The only thing they sell in Home Depot, even like this year, right, the prices of wood went up like crazy. 2x4s $35. It used to be $199. How much is it today? 14 what? $14, $9, still crazy stuff, right? So let's say they don't have any more wood in Home Depot, COVID, whatever. The only thing available is this. Do you use it? But Chacham said it's not good. So Chacham took away the Gzera. When it's a Shas HaKodesh, they take away the Gzera. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Once Rabbanan put in the Gzera, it's a Gzera. And the fact that they used it, it shows that there's no limit to the size of Schach. Now, Tanya goes to the Shmuel. And now I have a perfect brayso like Shmuel. What does Shmuel say? Anything above 4 tvachim, everybody agrees is no good. Interesting. Same lashon as the brayso before, says something completely different, opposite. If I take cedar wood that are planks of wood, sheyesh b'marba, and they have 4 tvachim, they're called psula. According to everybody, it's puzzle. Ellie, we need another geshmaka picture and a video from this corner right over here. Grab your phone. You have to send it to Yosef and we can show that it's unbelievable olam over here. Oh, man. You know why? Because the guy that makes the coffee is Shlomi Klein, not Yeshua Aaron Price. You started, Yeshua. You started. Rav Meir Poiso review the Machshir. Listen to this. So end of the story. So it says Mefurish that if it's 4 tfachim, the schach is puzzle. So it says Mamish like Shmuel that the whole machlokes is below 4, but above 4 it's puzzle. Okay, fine. I guess I missed all these beautiful charts that I brought from Eretz Yisrael. By the way, Gary Ben Moshe's son came to my house. Unbelievable. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me a great idea. So why am I spending 10, 15 minutes a day printing these? I paid Gary's son, and he printed all 500 of these, 550. I saved myself 11 hours. Unbelievable. Got to delegate. So some of these are a little extra. Fine, let's see what we need here. Pachas Mishalosh. Wow. All of these. Crazy, I forgot we have pictures where boy says Dinim down the middle. You want to see his Dinim? Great. Wow. It just keeps on going. Okay, but here's the important picture that we're talking about right now. Here's a sukkah. Oh yeah, I don't like what he did here. Oh yeah. No, it's good. Fine. The Shitas Ram. I don't like this one. This one is the better one. Okay. This is what we're talking about. Remeir says like this. If you have a sukkah that's exactly 8 amas wide, 48 tfachim, so what you do is like this. You put a plank of wood in the beginning and a plank of wood at the end. 4 tfachim. This is Remeir who holds that 4 tfachim is 100% no good. Only Rabbi Yehuda, according to Rav, says that 4 tfachim is okay. So what you do is you put a plank and then you put real schach. A plank, real schach, a plank, real schach. So over here you're going to have doifen akuma to this wall. Over here you're going to have doifen akuma to this wall. The doifen akuma is going to come out all the way to here. But when you reach the center, you have 2 pieces of regular schach. Each one is 4 tfachim wide. Together it's 8 tfachim. How much schach do you need for a real sukkah? 7. So 8 is more than enough. The center is a perfect sukkah. The fact that I have all these planks of wood, it's not the end of the world because it's doifen akuma. Let's see it inside. In between each plank of wood is a space of a plank of a wood. And in that space, he puts real schach in there. Okay, fine, end the story. This is a kosher sukkah, according to Remeir. Interesting chiddush. It doesn't have to be exactly this size. It doesn't have to be this. It's just an idea. You don't really need 8 tfachim. You can get away with 7. Okay. Here's a very interesting case. Not this halacha. This we had basically, that if you put a piece of wood within 4 amas of the wall, interesting double lashon, fine. You cannot sleep underneath it. Itmar. I got to tell you, because Shlomi Klein is in the house here, so I got to tell you the joke. I didn't ask him Rishus to say this joke. It's a shtach on Lubavitch, but since he's here, he's going to be Menachem and Shem of all the Lubavitch. I just thought it was great. Somebody told me this thing. He said, it's mamish anes. Where's Shlomi? It's mamish anes that Lubavitchers don't sleep in the sukkah. Otherwise, if you would be walking Manhattan on sukkahs, they'll be pulling out pajamas on every corner and saying, come to ride into sukkah. All right. All right. Idmar. Hafochan al tzideyim. Here you have giant planks of wood that are 4 tfachim wide, but they're only, let's say, 3 tfachim thick. So he did a trick. He flipped them sideways. They're on the tall side. So you don't have 4 tfachim anymore. What's the halacha? What do you think? Think for a second. Is this kosher or not? If they were flat, they're puzzle. So I want to go like this. Unflatten them. Now they're standing up. They're not 4 tfachim. Is there something wrong with that? On the one hand, you could say that it's puzzle schach. At the end of the day, it's puzzle schach because it was flat as puzzle. So just because you flipped it over, maybe it's like a piece of metal. You can't flip a piece of metal this way or that way. So we have a machlokes here, of course. Rav Huna Amar Psula, Rav Chizda, Rav Huna Amar Sheira. Rav Huna says it's possible. And Rav Chizda and Rav Huna say kosher. Says the Gemara, Rav Nachman Surah. Rav Nachman happened to be in Syria. Uli Gabei, Rav Chizda, Rav Huna, they went to visit him. The 2 who say that it's kosher went to visit Rav Nachman. Omerlei, hafachan al tzidei ma'u. What happens when you flip the schach on the side? Omerlo psula. He says, possible like, not like you guys, but like Rav Huna. Nasu kishputim shemateches. And he explains to them, because these pieces of schach are like pieces of metal that are puzzled. It doesn't matter if you flip them or not. Oh, Rav Huna, nothing has changed. What would you tell your friend if the Balador of Nachman said like you? Hey, I told you so. I told you he's going to say like me. Why do you bother asking him? If you would have explained it to us like he did, we wouldn't have asked him. Did you ask me for a reason? You just asked me halacha. I told you halacha. The bottom line is, it's interesting because I'm pretty sure this woman sent me an email right before I got here. She said she wanted to understand why is it that in a different sugya,
It's these people, I'm pretty sure. It's Rav Huna and Rabbi Rav Huna and Rav Huna Rav Nachman. Now Rav Nachman, Rav Nachman was in charge of the sukkah of the Reish Galusa, and he took them and he put them in the sukkah that had tzchach hanging down low. She wanted to know, that's not nice to do. And she said, Shlomi Klein's example, she said, I drink chalav Yisrael. My friends have never offered me chalav stam. Why would you do that? That was her shayla. The answer at a different time, not here. Rabbi Isai, thank you so much for joining. Be'ez Hashem, Yerushalayim Abenuya.